Let's have a look at IELTS Academic Writing Task 1. And here we have an example question, which of course we know takes 20 minutes to answer. And that's not long. That means you have to actually work pretty fast to understand what the main topics are, what the main trends are, and then report that. So the line graph below shows online purchases of CDs and DVDs. So CDs, here we go. The CDs go up for a period and then they decline. And the DVDs, number of sales, hundreds of thousands, and we can see on the horizontal axis we've got the time, and the vertical axis we've got the number of items. What's the general thing that we can understand there? What's the overall idea? Well, overall by 2013, sales of DVDs were higher than sales of CDs. So that's the overall trend. In 4 different years, yes, and the pie chart shows the ages of people who purchase CDs and DVDs online in New Zealand. So what do you think will happen? Well, obviously we've got younger people who are making most of the purchases during this time period. So people who are aged between 18 and 30 have close to 45% of the market, I would imagine. And then 30 to 45 is that part as well. So overall, you could even say that close to 75% of people are these young people, whereas 60 plus, you're only getting a small number, a small percentage. So that's a clear sort of trend we can see there. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. 150 words. Okay, so let's have a look at how we could answer this. And like I've said, as we can see, the overall trend is DVDs are higher than CDs, and the younger people are more commonly buying these CDs and DVDs than older people. Here's our answer. You can see straight away that we've got 4 paragraphs. The first paragraph will give an intro to both topics. It'll state what's happening in both topics, and it can give an overall trend as well. So the first sentence will summarize what's happening in both, and then the second sentence will give a trend. The next paragraph, we've got some linking words in here as well. So overall is a great linking word, however is a great linking word. My next paragraph here is giving our information about chart 1 only. So this is the one where we've got the dates, and we're talking about the changes in the amount of CDs that are bought over the time. In body paragraph 2, we're talking about chart 2 only. So this one is about the age groups. So it's quite easy to create your structure when you can just break it one paragraph as to one chart and the second paragraph in the second chart. And overall, we've got a little conclusion that mentions both points, but of course we don't give a personal statement. So that's not what we do in this IELTS Academic Writing Task 1. There's no personal statements. So let's go through the little parts and see just some of the language structures that we've used and some of the overall ideas and how we've answered this question. So the line graph compares the number of CDs and DVDs bought online in New Zealand between 98 and 13, while the pie chart shows the different age groups of those who buy them. Very clear. We've said that we've got the number of in the first one, and then the age groups in the second one. Overall, DVD purchases outstripped CDs over the period. So there were more DVDs bought than CDs over that whole period. What's the period? The period is from 98 to 2013. So that's useful. And that 18 to 13-year-olds are the biggest buyers of these products. And that's what we said at the start. We could see from the pie chart that the 18 to 13-year-olds, they were the ones that were making the purchase decisions. Let's have a look now at body paragraph 1, where we just give a bit more detail on the CDs and DVDs which were bought. So number of CDs and DVDs bought online was very low in 98 at only 50,000. However, the sales rose dramatically, peaking at around 350,000 in 2003, while DVDs showed more moderate growth, rising to 200,000. So we know that CDs rose quickly compared to DVDs. From that time, the number of CDs bought online decreased steadily, whereas DVD purchases continued to grow steadily, around 350,000, 3 times higher than the CDs in 2013. So I've got a nice little use of that 3 times higher. I'm grouping information, or I'm saying it in a different words. Of course, I'm not just copying the words that I find on the chart. I'm making my interpretation. Body paragraph 2, regarding the age of the buyers, New Zealanders aged under 30 account for the bulk of internet CD purchases and DVD purchases, around 45%. So most of them are the young people, followed by 30 to 45-year-olds at 30%. Those aged over 60 by very few, accounting for only 5% of all online purchases of these items. So in just 2 sentences, I've been able to find the key information. These are the most and these are the least. To sum up, buying DVDs online became more common than buying CDs over the DVD period. So yes, we're summarizing. By summarizing, we're giving the absolute key information. What's the final takeaway? So DVDs online more common than CDs over 15 years, while younger adults are far more likely to purchase these products online than older. So younger people are making the online purchases compared to the older. So I've done everything that's been required. I've given my opening with a trend, talked about chart 1, talked about chart 2, and then a conclusion which has the absolute main points with no personal statement.